What's going on, guys? So, if you're into emulation, then I'm pretty sure you have a large collection of ROMs. But where do you store them? That's the real question. Well, you have a few options. Okay, so you can store them on your main drive, which is your C drive, and honestly, I don't recommend you to store them there, or you can store them on an external hard drive. You can use an external SSD, or you can store them on the cloud with something like Google Drive that's free to use, or find a paid option of cloud storage such as Dropbox. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of each. Starting with your main drive, which is your C drive, and in most PCs today will be an SSD or an NVMe. And I'm gonna straight out say, just don't store your ROMs here, period. I mean, it's the drive that contains your operating system, and most people only have 500 gigabytes or 1 terabyte drives as their main drive. With Windows 11 taking up around 27 gigabytes, then you have Steam and Epic Games installed, along with some important games that you play on a regular, and we know how big games are getting these days, right? So what about an external SSD? Well, I would say storing your ROMs on one of these drives will be your best option, and also the drive you want to play from if you emulate on a daily. They last a long time, some can even last over 10 years. They are super durable, so if you drop it, nothing will be damaged, nor will you lose files on the drive. Now, the downside of an external SSD is the price. For a 1 terabyte SSD, it will cost you around $80 to $100 depending on the brand. 2 terabytes will cost around $150 to $200, and a 4 terabyte will cost anywhere from $300 to $380. Now, they are expensive, but cheaper than they were 4 years ago. Now, if you want a cheaper option, that's where external hard drives come in. So a 1 terabyte external hard drive will cost $50 to $60. A 2 terabyte external hard drive will cost around $80 to $90, and a 4 terabyte will cost around $100. So yeah, you can get a lot more gigabytes for a cheaper price, meaning you can store a lot more ROMs and not put a hole in your pocket. But here's the downfall. If you drop an external hard drive, then you have pretty much broken that drive and lost everything on it. Because unlike an SSD, a hard drive has moving parts inside of it that can easily break. Believe me, I know, because I have broken quite a few of them. Also, they won't last as long as an SSD if you use them as your daily drive. You will only get around 4 to 6 years out of it. They have about half the lifespan of an SSD, so that leaves our last option, cloud storage. And we are only going to talk about Google Drive because most people have a Gmail account, which gives you automatic access to 15 free gigs of cloud storage, which is great because other sites will charge you a monthly fee to have storage with them. Now, if you do this, your ROMs will be safe in the cloud, and honestly, you can save some of them there if you would like. That is totally up to you and how you feel about having those ROMs in the cloud. I personally don't do it, but it is an option. Now, what do I recommend? Well, I suggest using an external hard drive to store your ROMs for safekeeping, and do not leave it plugged in to get maximum life out of it. Instead, store the drive somewhere safe and only use it when you need to add ROMs to it, or transfer some ROMs to another drive. I personally have an 8 terabyte Western Digital external drive that I use, and the ROMs that you're gonna play on a daily have them on an SSD that you will leave plugged into your PC at all times. I personally use a 2 terabyte Western Digital external SSD. So that's the way I think you should store your collection. Now, if you have money to blow, then get yourself multiple drives so you can have a backup to your backup. But that's up to you, of course. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video was somewhat helpful, and let me know how you store your ROM collection. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.